Listen and you'll hear the heartbeat of a universe teeming with force. See all the forms and the faces of nature taking its course. And feel all the wonderful motion flowing through things far and near. Nature will share her secrets when we are ready to hear energy. These are a few of your faces, glowing in timeless places, bringing our lives new graces. Energy, there is no living without you. We must keep learning about you. Now is the time to find how to. Energy, you are profound. You make the world go round and round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round.
Thank you, Energy. Hi, everybody. How is it going? Happy Friday. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hope you're doing well. It's me. Volume looks good. Marcus and ABC, thank you for the stream streaks. Appreciate it. Jalui, thank you so much for 20 months. 20 months, 5 minutes ago. 20 months. Appreciate it. Yes. Sorry. KOTOR 2 just wasn't working out. It's just not happening. It's a bummer. It's just not working. So I don't know. Masterly Ninja, Fish, Key, Vantage White, Human, Jade, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Adam Asleep, thank you for 30 months. Appreciate that. Thank you. Actually, raise the volume. My sound order's a little bit. They seem a little low to me. Hope you're all doing good. You have a side job thing, a board opposing local high school sports. Opping. One. Oh, okay. Controversial ending. My brothers want to play some Overwatch. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna play some Overwatch with them. They're fathers, so they'll get tired at some point. And when that happens, I want to play some more of that new Resident Evil 9 mode, the roguelike thing, which I thought was fun. Seems like some people are harsh on it, which I understand. It is definitely just recycling a lot of content, but I think it's fun. I don't know. You guys tried it. What do you think? Let's see what my idiot brothers think.
Worth it probably for that much of an increase.
Hello, idiot brothers.
Hey, hello, dummy.
Hello, other idiot brother.
How's it going?
I'm good.
Going well.
Good. I'm gonna
Waiting
play
forever for you to get in here.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
go.
I'm sorry, I was going to buy your daughter a birthday present. Yeah, Fire,
not
you can
good
get in
enough.
here. Gotta do that to get some food.
Yeah, food. What'd you get?
Yeah, just
Anything
some
good?
canes. Raisin canes that are open.
Ooh, I do like
I was
Raising
gonna,
Cane's.
thought about going inside, then I looked and I'm like, oh right, it's like after 10. It is nothing but very young people in there, and I am too old for it. I'm too old for it.
Oh, they all hang out at the Raising Cane's now.
Yeah. Did somebody ask me?
Did you get the?
Oh,
Did you ever get the naked tenders there?
No,
They have naked tenders.
I may as well
Yeah,
though,
you-
because the tenders aren't even what I'm really there for. Actually, it's just the
Right.
sauce.
Yeah, no, you can. They won't be breaded, so you save a bunch of calories, and I think they're actually pretty good that way.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Hey, Epic Mickey, the remaster of Epic Mickey is really good. So I think it's worth checking out.
Oh, did you play
Probably
that?
on sale.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't play through it, but it's good.
I discovered if you
That's
play it
pretty
on like
good.
the Steam Deck or something, the using the gyroscope works very well for it too.
Really.
Yeah.
Really.
Are you sure?
You know, Mike. Yeah, I mean, if you played it, you if you wanted to, you could turn on the gyroscope. Do you think you'd do that?
What are you doing?
What kind of joke are you making?
What are you doing? Yeah, Chris, are you following him?
I was trying
No,
to bait you in
not
the line from the weekend. I don't know if you were picking up.
Oh, I might, Rabbit. I might. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
I did not get that.
AJ and I were walking around downtown Cleveland before that Cavs game, and I just dropped a line for an old Looney Tunes cartoon. You might, Rabbit. You might, and it slayed him. It killed.
Because it was out of nowhere, and it took just that fraction of a second for me to go from "What are you talking about?" to "Oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about," and then just for the rest of the evening, it would just pop in my head, and I'd start giggling. And then, like 5 minutes later, everybody you just go, "So he's hiding at the stove, eh?" It's like, oh shit, here we go again.
You know, I'm doing all screw it.
Oh,
All
well.
right. Have a packed weekend. Sorry, chat. Once you fathers get tired and go to bed, I'm going to play more of that Resident Evil 9 mode. You know, it's
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be on too long. I'm already tired.
so I've guys. Let me know if my brothers need a little bit more juice. Any of them. It's funny because like none of us were that into Resident Evil when we were younger, and now I'm very into it. I've been catching up, but you two still. Of course, somebody didn't pick their role, by the way. We're not.
I want to wait until this Halloween. I'm going to play Resident Evil 4 remake. That's
Yeah,
my
you
goal.
should. I may have raved about it once or twice.
Yeah, I started
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
we hear
breathing
AJ breathe. Yeah, we always hear AJ breathing. Yeah, work on that, AJ. Get a
Yeah,
gate
you're
up.
So I
Heavy
just
mouth
got up
breather.
and was moving something.
You
Okay.
are a mouth.
I just got up and
I was-
moved.
Well, yeah.
My bad. I moved.
They're called reps. Okay,
Yeah, Jesus.
My bad.
I'm laughing.
You guys
I
both
think we have to
ignored
think that
me.
that's Chris, actually, not me.
It's definitely you.
So it's
AJ,
always
Is
you.
it?
Look, I don't mean to broach this
I can't
publicly.
sit next to you in a movie.
I was about to say I can't sit next to you in a movie. I was just about to
Cool.
say.
Cool.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this, but you're a bit
Yeah,
of a mouth
thanks.
breather.
Yeah, thanks.
Zerum, thank you for 8 months. Appreciate that.
I have
Really well.
allergies.
That's hilarious.
Kane,
Jess, I
hi.
have to
Kane, hi.
read
Well,
it
thank you for the stream
now.
streak. Yeah, I was gonna bring up the movie theater thing, Chris. But I'll just say, it's like, man, he's just really breathing.
I mean, after a while, I don't hear it, but those first 5 minutes are rough.
Right now, I'm thinking about breathing.
There you go.
Just take an allergy pill. Open that nose up.
I do every day. Still congested all the time.
Who should I be? Man, I haven't played it forever, except for that one match just now. You guys ignored me when I said that a game that is really fun is out today called Everything
Oh,
is
that
Crap.
I meant to say what's
it
that,
called?
and I forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is Crab?
Everything is crab. I played the demo and absolutely loved it like a couple weeks ago. And my gosh.
Well,
I
you said
can't
it
wait to
like
get
the hotly anticipated everything is
Right, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I got an email that I told you that I was playing the demo.
Look.
I was ignored. And then it came out and I was like, oh my god, guys, you won't believe it. Today's the day.
I've got,
right. I
look,
don't believe
ignored
it.
again.
I've got some pretty good codes for things right now. The game's gonna have to be pretty good if I'm gonna be
It's
checking
pretty
it out.
good.
Because I got
It's pretty
Forza,
good.
I can't talk about, but I have that.
All right, let's see.
Some other things.
I almost forgot which way to look. Which way are they coming?
There's a big line on the floor that shows you.
It's gonna go great.
Yeah, I'm feeling it tonight.
Oh, she slapped me. Are you kidding? No.
Ah, help me! Help me! Becca.
I'm dead.
Ow! Dang.
We're losing, Brock.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say a single thing about you playing Reaper on defense.
I'll get him next time.
Even though you just did.
What's wrong with playing Reaper on defense?
It's nothing, especially when you go run out by yourself when the rest of your team is dead.
I'm not running.
I'm
in
joking.
the-
I'm giving you.
right
I'm
outside our
messing with you.
spawn
I'm
room.
messing with you.
Yeah.
Wow, I breathe more already.
Screw you guys.
Screw you guys.
Oh man, I'm just getting it from all sides here.
We almost killed somebody. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I moved in too much. My bad. I
Quick,
blew
Andy,
it.
yell at him.
Well, you can yell at me.
Yeah.
I overextended. I do have my ult though when I get back in here. Oh, that's
I
right.
need to rethink some
Oh,
things.
this spawn always feels so far away. Nah, it gets not that far away. I'm almost there. It's got a sweet ult. It's gonna be awesome.
No disrespect, mind the shot.
How'd you know?
Well, that's gonna hurt. Nice fire hair.
Oh yeah. Oh, fire it up.
Get over here. Great time for a reload.
man.
Alright, there we go. God, this new
Aggro,
Sierra
yeah.
character is super fun.
All right, Trailblazers ready.
17 minutes for Toxic Mikey. Damn it. Christian said I was being toxic during UPF today, and I can't tell if he was joking or being serious. I really don't think so. I really don't think so. And someone in
The
chat
first
told me.
half hour, I remember.
Guys, let me know if the brother chat's still good. It might be a little low compared to my game now. Oh, right, look out. Here he comes. Yep. Ah. Alright. Hold up, Chris, or if you can get to him.
Well, I'm trying to get the fire to heal him.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
now
just
hide.
Got another
I'm
chance.
hiding.
Like,
No way
I
I'm
have an
wasting
ult to go in with. We could probably hold him still.
Oh.
Eyes on the sky.
Did you see that?
मेरे मुताबिक चलो.
Go, Hatch guy, go.
They didn't die.
It didn't get them. They're supposed to die.
They lived instead.
They all got behind that car.
Yeah, shit, shouldn't have done that. That's stupid. These are my actual brothers, yes. Thank you. I'm glad you like the new 90s Disney on Star Tours, which you can also check out.
Yeah, thank you. That was a fun one. I like Star Tours.
Oh boy. Oh, damn. Got melted up there. Get some big alts at least.
I'll get him next time.
Nice. Oh, canceled her ult too.
Nice. Yeah, we got this.
We're fine, we're fine. Okay.
Heads up.
Oh, good job.
Ooh, I'm dead.
Ooh, what got me?
Anyone have any suggestions for the next 90s Disney episode? Let's hear it.
I have an idea because I think is July going to be the cocktail episode?
July or June.
Yeah. We usually do like September, don't we? Or kind of later.
No, we usually do it August.
Well, yeah, but
Is it
August is going to be busy this year, so
Yeah.
it might be best to do it as like the
July.
July 1 episode.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I have an idea for what I'm going to do next, so if you're desperate, I'll let you steal my idea, even though it's really good.
I'm not desperate. I haven't
Yeah.
even thought about it yet. I'm not desperate.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
she's Anna.
I'm telling you
boosted.
now.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, get ready to regroup here. We're gonna have one
Yeah,
shot.
wasn't it?
Let's try something different.
Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Oh, I got it. Ow. There.
Ah, damn it, man. She's doing good work. Uh-oh. We're losing. Oh, that's all right. We'll get him next time, maybe.
Well, we held it there for a while.
What's the next streaming game? Asked Nukatronic. Well, at some point this weekend, I'm going to be streaming through Magical Tetris Challenge and check out the test the N64 ahead of the big Donkey Kong stream. Aside from that, I mean, at some point it's going to be Code Veronica. There's also some other PS1 things I want to get to. This Adventures of Tron Bond is going to happen very soon.
Yeah, I meant to tell you, I've been playing KOTOR 2 myself, Mike. I've had no trouble with it. So I don't know if
Well,
just
it's OBS was a huge part of it for sure. OBS, it did not like OBS. But I
Have
don't
you
know.
played that before, Mike?
No.
KOTOR 2?
Nope.
Oh man, I thought you did.
I mean, I didn't play KOTOR 1 until
Man,
college.
I played KOTOR 1 back then, but I didn't play KOTOR 2 right away either.
People kind of didn't like at the time. People were like,
Yeah, like I started and I was like, it's very samey feeling.
It's hard to keep up with it because then everyone's like, well, you got to play with that mod, and now a lot of people don't think the mod's not very good now. So
Yeah, I found like a Steam guide that had like the recommended mods. So it was like that one, but a community patch for the patch, and then like
Right.
a couple other like little minor mods to just fix some things.
fun.
And that's, I don't know if that made the difference. And I didn't do the Steam Workshop version of the mod. I get the one you have to like download and manually install. Supposedly that's better.
Ah. Oh, I didn't tell you guys I beat Vampire Crawlers.
Oh, good.
Oh, congrats!
So
Did you defeat death yet?
No, I haven't done that yet. I actually beat it like a week ago, but it got bugged out where, I don't know, this is probably not a spoiler, but when you win or whatever, like the moment that I won is also when I died, but I had a tiramisu or whatever to revive, but the game like couldn't like revive me after I won, so it just thought I lost anyway.
Oh no!
And then it was just like the screen was like frozen, like it didn't know what to do. It wasn't like you lose; it was just stuck there. It wouldn't advance. That's frustrating.
French Quarter opened in 1990. We did. Did we do an episode in French Quarter, or did we just do the episode in Riverside?
No, I'm pretty
Riverside.
Oh, I wasn't just a Port Orleans thing.
No, it was just Riverside.
Like either French Quarter if you want, Chris.
Man, that'd be pretty similar. I don't know how much.
Oh, what? It's a completely different hotel.
Yeah, and you love that
What are
hotel.
you talking about?
I do love that hotel. Yeah, it's not bad. I do like.
I can tell you don't love it.
The hotels.
Knowledge
Don't
is
love
its
it.
own.
I do. I don't love it, but I like it,
Okay.
and I'm willing to possibly do it. We've done a few hotels now at this point. Those are always fun episodes to
A
research.
lot of them opened in the 90s.
Yep.
My favorite one that like to research still was like, I like doing the odd ones. Like doing Fast Pass was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like that was a good one. I like doing the monorail. McDonald's was my favorite. That was my
McDonald's is
favorite.
fine.
That's one of our most popular episodes.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wasted that because I wasn't thinking.
How great they have a Genji.
Cave troll.
Genji's gonna be coming for me.
Yeah, he's coming. Excellent job, Mikey.
Yeah, he really got me.
I'm happy I did.
He really almost got me.
I'll make him second guess.
He comes out with a new character. I'm gonna.
That was
laugh.
a complete blind shot, but I'll take it.
He's still out there.
Heads up.
I got Reinhardt's creating space.
I don't know if that was a joke, edge guy or not, but
I mean, he was. take
Yeah.
that as you fear, but
I always
oh
love
shit!
that. Like,
Oh, Genji got me.
man.
Guys got Genji in the back line. He circumvented me and killed all of you.
yeah, he sure did. He got vengeance.
Yeah, right. Should have laughed at him, Mike. Pissed him off.
I handled him great. You were the ones who were laughing, not realizing he was tearing up the back line. Not unlike me, who was
The Reinhardt was creating space.
He did create a lot of space.
It worked. See, edge guy, it can work.
You see Sub-Zero, you can create space. Oh shit. A
I
hole
feel good about
appeared.
this one already. Oh, come on.
Alright.
Son of a...
Jesus. Well, we got no heals. Backing away slowly. Jesus Christ. Everyone's dead.
Except for me. You know why?
You wanna know why? Have a tray table up. In my seat, right
That
position.
position. Watch this space with my orb.
Watch
See
this.
that? Got a fair plus. Excellent. Fire here. Excellent.
Oh! It worked, though. It was a sweet ult I did. I got killed, but...
Good job. Good job. Ooh, I almost had it.
Oh.
Oh, someone's there. Come
They're all ulting. Oh, that's nice. That's what I heard. Yeah, shit. Alright, they are gonna get that.
I'll find them.
Looks like they're on the move again.
You can't hide.
Genji's back in the health pack room.
It's back, Jack.
Genji's back, Jack.
Get him.
I will do better.
I'll do better.
We must limit them.
Oh my gosh.
Deploying rock you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Ryan's low.
The flame of my soul.
Ah, Genji deflected my chain.
My ultimate is
I hate sauerkraut.
Power at my fingertips.
scanning.
My will.
A sign of luxury. Need healing. Your concern.
Nice guy. This will end them.
I'll find them.
Oh boy, he's after me. Man.
Careful.
Oh, you found that creamy coconut Dr. Pepper. I saw it at the storage and I was too afraid. I'm
I
sorry.
bought 2 more cases today,
Oh boy, case.
bringing my total to 8 for the year.
Jesus.
I got stuck up last time it
Yeah.
went away, and I couldn't get any more.
Yeah.
Say
Give him the
that.
bad juice. Oh, I got my ult. I can. Yeah, we got a lot of ults. Ooh. Nice.
The arrow returns to the quiver. Do you
Mine's gonna eat
Wakateki wo kurau?
Projectiles.
That,
You can't hide.
I'll call that next time, because I could chain the guy down.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Oh boy.
that hurt.
I'll find them.
That's bad. Did you kill him? Ah, boy.
Yeah.
Shit. To be hiding in that room wasn't the best decision. Oh no, we lost again.
We'll get him next time.
That's right.
I killed lots of people though.
Did you now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling the police.
The next time I may not play Hanzo into a Reinhardt. What's not fun? There I go. I'm like, there's me running away.
Man, we
I
need to
vote
get
for
good.
Fire Hair.
Me too.
I don't. I'm good Fire Hair. I'm doing all
Yeah, I'm good.
hues. It's fine.
I'm all good. Mike, did you see the picture of my Ouya controller I found?
I did. You're very excited about that Ouya. A lot of people were.
Yeah. Every so often, on a controller brings back good memories of Towerfall.
Sick of controllers. H&R are making a real trip up to Cleveland tomorrow so I can get my Steam controller from Jeff.
Mine
Are you
arrives
doing
on
that?
Tuesday.
What was the other thing he said he had for you?
There's some. He went to the PO box, so there's some stuff people send the PO box.
Yeah, but there's like was it magic cards or something? I didn't quite hear what he said.
I don't. I have. He was saying a lot of things when I was like just starting and learning that Resident Evil mode, and I don't know what he was saying. So we'll talk
Okay.
about that. I have no idea, but I think he's talking about some of the things he got then. But I was not paying attention to him.
Man, you're a bad friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. First, I bossed him around that Western game.
hmm
Hope we can attack.
Man, Adjika, we're healing again.
Our defense, in our defense in quick play, defending is hard. They get forever,
Yep.
which is why I try my brothers into doing it. Girl.
Let's see. It'll be.
Oh, she picked him.
Ooh, we're attacked, right?
We are attacking.
It's funny. Here's while Vendetta seemed like super overpowered and banned constantly. Now nobody plays as her.
Moira.
Did they nerf her? What happened?
Maybe. I don't know if it was that or what.
I'll put it all on the line. This should be fun.
What if I Genji'd? That's going
What
to
if?
go poorly. It go poorly. I can tell.
We'll give it all we've got.
I'm not
Hope
that
that's enough.
You used
confident.
to be good at Genji.
I mean, Genji works
what's
until he
that?
doesn't.
Oh, I just got disconnected.
Oh, you left.
Like the best team in the solar system.
Lost connection to
Oh,
games.
we all did.
Oh,
I lost
I
too.
did too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
So it's not just me.
not just you this time. All right then.
Hmm.
Everything
for
is
the peak.
broken.
It's
for-
obviously fine. We're talking to each other. Is Overwatch down?
Funny. I mean, it did turn 11 exactly. It's not actually impossible that there's something like a
Like
patch being
maintenance
pushed
or
out.
something?
Or update.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Now, I'm beginning to like that theory. Dr. Feelbad, thank you for the 55 stream streak. Hope you're doing well. Hope you don't feel bad. Sunday's
Say
Mother's
that-
Day.
Does that make you feel-
That.
oh,
You guys might be having to do some food runs for me while I'm stuck playing Donkey Kong all week.
food runs.
I'm here for you.
Yeah,
I did that once and we got Arby's gift cards out of it.
that's right. Like, yeah. I think you know what other restaurants we might want to engage with for this.
Do I?
Yes. Are you joking with me?
I'm trying to understand exactly what you said. Other restaurants that you engage with.
What other restaurants would it be
Donkey Kong?
funny to deliver me food from?
Oh, well, yeah, the Red Lobster.
What do
and
you
all
think
that.
I
Lobster.
mean?
I don't know. It just
Like in a
didn't sound-
duel?
No, I don't know.
Like, what do you think
thought
I
were
meant by
trying
it?
to-
Did the word
you were
engage throw you off?
I mean, there's only two options. I thought assumed there was something else there.
No. All right. Did you? I'm back
Oh, I
inside
think I'm
of
back
the
in, yeah.
menu.
Yep.
It says I'm suspended for another 3 seconds.
That's funny.
For quitting a game.
Yeah.
Did Firehair even get kicked out? Like a sub His brothers are idiots.
He is. He's very mean. He's very mean.
Chris today sent me a picture like, Mike, do you know what this jacket that I've worn for 10 years is? I'm like, I'm sure it's a Carhartt. I never read like the label on it. I don't know.
But I've had the same jacket I wear in the winter for the past 10 years.
It's not like you go walking around like, my good old Carhartt.
I look at your jackets and ask where they're from.
No, you don't. You don't care.
I sure do.
You don't care.
Kohl's, Old Navy. All right, I want to do 1 damage, so I am going to do that.
Oh, we'll get completed daily for completing a 3rd game in a friend group after this, so that's sweet. I haven't gotten that first one of the
yeah.
day daily challenge done yet, though.
Might not. We only got an hour left.
Pressure's on. All these like challenges, I don't ever really understand what's going on. None of the the best, the only one of these Diablo skins I really like is the one for Brigitte, the character I do not play. So
Damn, they're
The
so
Paladin one?
expensive, though. It's
yeah, the Paladin
insane.
one's cool.
I like the Lilith one, but it's only if you get the Ultra bundle, which is like $80.
Do even from Moira? That's yeah.
hmm
Vote for a map.
Palacio is a good push map.
I feel like we always lose on it, though.
We always lose on every map.
Hey, hey.
I went on this map plenty, to be clear, when I play by myself. Oh, it was free. Oh, so the Moira's a return one. You got it before Fire Hair. Nice.
Ah.
Arriving at Coliseum. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Bash.
Bum, 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 bum. Weather gonna be nice tomorrow.
It's gonna rain tonight, and it should stop, so it might be wet still.
Yeah.
Be
Maybe
good
some
for-
of the kids will play
We'll give
outside.
it- The party should begin.
Will it rain?
We're hoping to top golf tomorrow
I
too.
should have packed a wet
No, top golf's all weather.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Right.
My
Go there in a blizzard.
my Disney afternoon stuff from Roosevelt came in.
Which one did you
I
get?
didn't get any of those traditional shirts, but I got like there's just like a T-shirt with that was like a Disney afternoon shirt, and then I did get the tailspin
Dale?
shorts.
Oh, the shorts. I thought for sure you were gonna get the Dale.
That sold out
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, really?
Kick up a dust storm.
That's probably his first thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably went quick, but that is a good shirt.
God, I love Roosevelt's.
Nice. Oh, AJ,
Help me.
I'm trying.
Oh, she dove me.
Take it on, take it on. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's stuck.
Lead taken. We have made incredible progress.
Let us go.
Yeah. What's Bastion's ult again? Is it like the 3 blast from
It's a
above?
3 blast.
Yeah, the 3 blast.
Generally not considered super good.
Okay, I just got it.
I mean, use it.
Yeah. Just saying.
No, I am. I'm just saying I got.
Oh, baby. Go, wait. Oh, Fire and Air are clean up. Fire and I are killing.
Attaboys.
Oh, we should have. Yeah, here we go.
Accompanying the robot.
Here's a little speed boost for you guys.
Well done,
We're almost there, Chris. Keep running.
Come in. Look
Get him,
at your
Chris.
soldier.
Hey.
You got
You
some
too,
slow
you want
characters.
The same thing I'm going to do to you, big boy. And you too. At last, you're alone, princess.
Spaceballs, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
we're fine. We're fine. Nice. You
Yeah.
pushed Gavel into him off the
Fire.
cliff.
Took care of it, yeah. No. Moira
Oh,
got
there we go. All right. Well, that went pretty well. We still get the good spawn. I know you aren't a big fan, but you think you guys could do a rival stream for Independence?
Oh, I love Rivals. I'll play.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe we'll play. Maybe we'll play rivals on UPF. That might be funny.
No, actually, it was really funny. I logged into it the other day. I forget why. I was like looking at something, and they
I got
had
Chris
something
stuff.
with Deadpool where it was like
Wait for your tank.
you had to spend the currency to like get these loot boxes, and it was like a 1 in whatever chance that you just got everything, and then eventually you would get everything if you spent at least like $14. They had points, so I bought one, got everything. So I have Deadpool and like a
Worth it,
kitty
gamble?
apron or something.
I am mine.
What up, Chris?
Yep.
Careful.
much I need to get. Just got that.
Just get him, get him, get him. There he goes. Nice.
Let's go, Robin.
That's big. Good shot, fire here.
We must accelerate.
It'd be cool if that accelerated the robot.
Yeah.
Black Cat, the newest hero. No, the newest hero is Sierra. Unless that's Black Cat. I don't know who you mean by Black Cat. It used to be a Jetpack
Black
Cat.
Cat, you know, the Spider-Man girl.
Oh, you're talking about Rivals again. Right, I'm like, who does Black Cat? Oh boy, they're on that bridge. Rough up there.
Oh my gosh. Dying quick.
Fire got somebody.
Ah. Tried.
Alright.
Done for. No, wait. I'm still here.
We had the good spawn for a little bit there, though. Fire here will not, so be careful. Play it really safe
Yep.
for a moment.
Stand back.
Come on, everyone.
My data says
Well done to orbit.
We're so close in there.
Powering out.
I'll take care of it.
Excellent work. Don't worry, Harry. I'll get him.
Moira, right over there still. Ow, boy. Where's that? Oh, shit. Alright, they're using all their ults. Let them.
Yep.
Yeah, they just used them all.
I don't know, Fire. I don't know about that one, Fire.
Can we really do this?
That could be mean to other people, says my brother. You know what? I'm just gonna say, Fire Hair, you do great for us. You're the best player on our team. Not your best ult. Just got to say it.
That wasn't mean. That was
Get the-
constructive criticism.
That was
You yell at us.
Yeah, you guys are pieces of shit.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, alright. Okay, they are about to take our spot. Let's get in there.
Get in.
Careful, Fire's on the other
I
side
got
of the
my ult,
bridge.
so we could dive in.
Maximum velocity.
Doing that.
You dare. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Got him. That's fine.
Oh shit.
Get him! Get him! Oh shit. Oh damn, they're gonna win this fight. Oh my gosh. We're gonna start losing here pretty quick, believe it or not.
Get on it, get on it.
I must not panic.
Yeah. Sucks. Should've just waited. Oh. Oh, careful, AJ. No, don't rush AJ.
Yeah, I thought I could get there and stop it.
You're alive.
He's gotta kill them. We're gonna have to kill them and take it back a bit.
Behind us, behind us. Chris, turn around.
Oh my god, yeah, I was shooting him. He has killed me so many times.
Damn it, I have my ult's not that good. You guys might want to switch to faster heroes?
That would have been a good idea.
That would have been, yeah.
Oh boy.
I was trying to
You
get
get there. Oh!
Stop them to win.
Yes, that's fast, that's fast. Touch the robot though. Oh wow. That was our closest winning yet. I did more.
You almost had it.
Oh, great. Almost did more damage than the freaking Echo.
Yeah, I got
That's great.
endorsed.
I am not going to endorse the Echo. I'm sorry. Mike is big timing everyone tonight. Well, you know what? Our Echo.
Someone's
sucks.
gotta be the ringleader. Nice fire.
Look,
nice
look, I'm not gonna.
fire.
I'm seeing some deficiencies in the stats. I'm not gonna call them out, but I'm seeing some deficiencies, mostly from the Moira, but not Moira. Echo.
Epic.
Yeah, Chris and I almost out damage.
Yeah.
Well, Chris did out damage her.
Yeah, why would hope?
I'm the other healing AJ.
Oh, right. Well, good job.
Thank you. I did do a good job.
You did good, Mike.
All right, this time for sure, maybe.
This is it. I'm actually feeling it. Here, I'll re-queue. I'm gonna change my.
He's when they call Dr. Feel Good. You guys have to push that button. Yeah, you go.
I am.
Give me a second.
Can I drink water? Am I
No.
allowed to breathe and drink water?
AJ's
Apparently
definitely
you're
not allowed to breathe. Let's get Chris beat me to the sitting next to you in the movie theater butts.
Wow. Wow.
Is there anything? I think a lot of the mythic outfits look kind of hideous.
They're too try-hard.
Yeah. Man,
They
Blizzard
gotta be
World usually
50
goes
bucks.
poorly, and yet I want to. I don't know. Whatever.
Yet it
But it's
reminds
so
me of
fun.
Disney.
Well, yeah.
And
It's a theme
yet-
park.
But I must.
Is Grub going with you guys to Top Golf tomorrow?
Yes.
Or just you two?
Yeah.
Man, I want to go. It has to be my daughter's birthday. What the heck?
Right on Malo.
Right
Kids.
on me.
That's not Malo. It's
Yeah, isn't Melo
29.
just the calendar? Is that your thing?
No. Well, Malo is also. Well, first it was May 10th, so.
Well,
Sunday.
tomorrow is the best day of the year. It's 5/9.
Oh, right. The number. I thought. Yeah, right, the number that haunts you, but also you like it.
Well, yeah, because it haunts others too. I'm not the only one cursed.
One small step.
Right.
All right, let's see.
Let's proceed with haste.
We.
I tried the chicken nuggets you suggested, but
I'm cold down here.
why
I
are
should
they
put a hoodie
shaped
on or
like
something.
dinosaurs?
That is what makes them
But I
superior.
don't feel like it.
I like that Genji likes the dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. That's good lore.
We'll give it all we've got.
was it Genji who said that or Life Weaver? Couldn't tell.
That was Genji, I believe.
Nice. Well, that's fun.
All right, we'll come out this right or left. Yeah, left door. I'm gonna push my speed boost there. We'll go fast together.
Zoom.
Here we go.
Sometimes we just don't get past. Oh, we got a dive though. This is good. We can get past this stupid choke point.
Yeah, we got monkey.
Oh God.
Oh, sorry, fire. Sorry, fire. I screwed up.
Wait, why'd you? Okay, it's fine.
I didn't mean to.
It's good. It's going great. I got picked off by the console though.
For a second, I was like, "There's a big E button over the character." I'm like, "Yeah, this is good. It's what I want to do."
Just push
then,
the
then I was
button.
reminded. Oh wait, it pulls him back towards me. Never mind.
It's okay. It's going great. Good job, everybody.
Hey,
Good
doing
job,
better
AJ.
on offense than healing tonight, I guess. Take that.
Yeah, that is the move there. I try to shield through that choke point, and it's just hell on earth. Alright, I'm gonna. You guys go over there. I'll start pushing the payload. The payload on Malo.
I forgot it was a payload. I was like,
That's Chris's favorite rapper, Royce the 5'9". Guys, if you think I don't know much about rap, you're gonna be really disappointed in my brother.
It's a Minotti thing. Sorry, guys.
Apologies, you were in my flight path. We must accelerate. Dispatching care.
Oh boy.
Fire.
It's alright, we can still finish this. Nice. Good picks. Still alive. Naked Diva. Keep pushing. Oh boy.
Heads up.
No.
oh,
Ooh, that was rough.
Killed me.
Diva's ult, probably?
I think I was staying too close to her when the mech spawned
Yes,
in.
the
so I
mech
was trying to
spawned in
kill
and
her.
killed you,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, you have to watch out for
I
that.
got Titanfalled.
You got Titanfalled.
Man, Diva just saved that single-handedly.
Okay, let's go through the left.
The override protocols
We got our ults now. Oh god. They saw that coming, I guess. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Okay, we're kind of coming out of this okay.
Hey, Diva.
Okay, get to that cart. Nice. Look at that, we don't even need it to.
My platform heals now, FYI. You're on it.
Oh, really?
I did not know it said that. Guess that's your perk, right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Alright, we're gonna have some juicy alts here. We might be able to push through with them.
I'm gonna try to get behind him and hit my ult here.
We'll just wait till they're engaged, because otherwise we'll just turn and
that
shoot
doesn't
you.
go. I thought that door went out around.
I'll be to our right. Yep. Yeah.
Would my tree have prevented that? I feel like it's
I think it does.
huge,
I think it's more like these
like burst
Pinata
healing,
thing,
right?
where like it just heals really fast. So if there's burst damage,
Right.
you'll still be toast.
Okay. Well, I almost used it, but then I thought I was gonna waste it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Someone must move the payload.
Move up with this. Nice.
It's just healing you, ad guy.
Really?
It's
Again
fine.
already?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, this is bad. Eh.
We got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Stay calm, Juno. You can do this. Come on, everyone. Crafting the barrier. Shout. Serve by design.
Genji.
Ah, shit.
Junkrat's behind.
Oh boy.
Mercy's down. That's good.
He switched off.
Barbarism. Nerf this.
Oh, that's a waste.
How's she nerfing after we kill her? Is that like a perk?
It must be. Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of neat. Ad guy, no.
Jesus. Ooh,
Oh, I stuck her.
Let's go. Tank is down. Mercy's
Oh
down.
no!
What? What?
I got Hanzo sniped, but go, go, go.
We must accelerate. Do be careful. Welcome to orbit.
How'd that kill me? I was so far away.
Yes, trying to just push it in. Nice. Chris, feel free to ult whenever.
Yep.
Here.
Nice, nice.
Hey! Woo!
Yeah, we
Hey,
did it.
there we go.
All right, Matt. Good win. Yes, let's see if he
Yeah,
gets
it's probably
squished
that
here.
early one. Yeah.
Jesus, yep, there you go. Been there. There I go. Jumping around like an idiot. GG's. Oh, look at that.
They had a Hanzo on their team. That was rough. That doesn't help. All right, Edge guy. Sorry, Fire Hair. You're on there a lot. Let's give it to
I'm
Edge
gonna
guy.
run to the restroom
Yeah.
for this next game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at
I'll
that.
take the credit.
MVP, Edge guy.
Yeah, I did it.
You did do it. I'm proud of you. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, so many challenges just completed.
Yeah. Needed that. I feel fulfilled. Ooh, I got a loot box too.
Then I will be 3-time Emmy Award-winning actor Jim Carrey, and then I will be enough.
I'm sure you have the Conan bit where Jim Carrey plays Conan. Have you seen
Oh
that
yeah,
before?
I can't hear the laughter anymore.
Gosh, it's one of the best. I could just watch Conan clips all day and be perfectly content.
Mhm.
He's the one that makes you feel all right. Feel good. Well, my fingers are so cold. It's not even that cold down here. I'm just like having a cold flash.
New York City. Oh, I got it.
Being an agent of chaos, I said random.
Got myself a prosperity wheat from Market Garden. Leisure
Nice.
Tower. Control.
Now arriving at Legion Tower.
I kind of do want to try Brigitte. Are any of these skins cool? They're okay. I just like Overwatch skin. Let's see how this goes. What
Do it.
What are your perks?
Your control is when you want to do it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Breaking me down just builds me up. Follow my lead, dears. The punishment
Remember
for
when
the
Shield
violence
Bash used to
is
stun
quite
people?
severe.
That was very good.
Salutations.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it doesn't
too
do
good.
that anymore. Jeez, I didn't even know that.
Got rid of a lot of the stuns.
Tracer was like worthless.
Catch these healing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the
I
objective.
wonder if we have enough healing. Let's see.
Here we
Yeah, probably fine.
Constructing my barrier.
Well,
What a bad time to reload.
Got very fast
there. Yeah, right.
Team kill.
I'll try a different approach.
The objective
We
is
have to
now
get them off the point.
Okay, we can't just
Oh
keep
my
running into
goodness.
them like this.
Yeah. That's bad. They got there so quick.
Yeah, they wait
We're
for
in the corner waiting. I want to poop.
I'll remember that for
Let's all wait this time.
Enemy over here.
No, I refuse.
Fine. The funny thing is, he actually is pushing too far forward.
Oh my god, what is happening?
This Reinhardt's insane. I'm trying to think what I could even do.
Everybody switch. If I'm a flying cat, the Reinhardt can't hit me.
And if I'm a flying rocket girl, he can't hit me.
And if I can keep people alive after they die, we'll try.
What did Mike say about not enough healing?
Oh yeah.
Almost. Hey Carl, how's it going? You're not seeing us at our best here.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm staying back, Mike. Don't you dare.
We're cheesing it.
We almost had it.
God, do you not get as many rocket boosts anymore to go up?
I don't know.
So
Oh,
this
nice.
cooldown's a lot longer than I remember.
Ah, bullshit! Bullshit! No, we're finally doing it. Get up!
We're not done. We're not done.
Come on!
Oh shit! Come on.
Oh my gosh, how? Had him. Got Mike Zords.
Got her in there. Get in there, get in there, get in there.
I'm here. Not for long.
Look, we started making something of that towards the end there.
Alright, yeah, we'll get him now.
No, you had a GDQ hotfix? Where are you running? Use the Dark Souls and stuff?
Best round lost.
You're starting Resident Evil for the first time. It's good stuff. Okay. Regroup, regroup.
Wait, I want to do another Elden Ring playthrough, but I just want to wait for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm the same way, actually. Dark Souls randomizer, 80% nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Pre-flight checklist complete. Running clean and hot.
I'll decide my own fate.
Find your strength. We are soon to need it.
Hey, Super Blast X. Yeah, I'm going to be playing some of that new Res Evil 9 mode that dropped, which, to be honest, if you're starting a single-player playthrough, probably has spoilers, but I'll be playing for funsies.
We can do this. We must only
Trying to carefully switch to-
Through here.
Sorry, forgot about my ring.
Yeah.
Spirits are breathing down my neck again.
crap. I was so far away. Oh, didn't be from downtown. Jeez.
Get Lucio. Oh, bullshit.
Can't let my demons win.
My goodness.
More Kombat came out today. I didn't even know it was today. No. My interest level was not super high. I don't know. I was so burned out from that last one because everybody, like, at first was like, whoa, it's so good. And I saw him like, it's not that good. It's kind of lame.
I enjoyed it.
Because you're a normie piece of shit.
I guess. Apparently.
No, I'm joking. I don't know.
Learning new things about myself.
Right?
God, he even killed my damn tire. What the hell? I think this guy's cheating.
That must be it.
He's like sniping people with that wave attack.
Well, not her.
That was insane.
Oh, I got an endorsement though. Fire, can I try tank, please, for funsies?
I'm gonna do damage too, if you don't mind. His name's Knight as well.
Okay, he destroyed us for sure. Not our. Sometimes it happens. We got our one win. We got to get brought back down to earth. Okay, got
how
a
does
little.
that happen though? He's got a hammer. I mean, everyone else can do that too and swing it.
He's getting healed all the time, and we weren't doing enough damage. You see, I'm gonna vote for Knight.
Epic.
I changed my vote.
Thank you, Carl. They are all cheating if they're beating us. I agree.
Yep. A lot of cheaters tonight.
A lot of cheaters. I think Blizzard needs to do something about this. Seems like a problem. You're the one they call Dr. Feel Good.
Whoa. I like started tapping that on my desk in exact rhythm with you singing that.
I've been just kind of doing it because Dr. Feel Bad's the last thing on my notifications thing. So it's
right, but I mean, just like the exact timing of it was very bizarre.
Guys, how did we not have this magical Tetris challenge game on N64 that's just like Disney Tetris?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I didn't answer my question.
Right.
There's your
answered.
I got one or two more in me.
That's right, you do.
Yeah, agreed.
What does that mean?
I gotta get some flowers in the morning.
They're not quitting yet.
Fodor is doing their like 9 a.m. flower drop Edge guy.
Oh, good. I was kind of thinking like they're Molnar's or something. So,
well, we did get all the grandma's flowers from there. So I don't know if you want to change it up or not. But just letting you know,
no, that's fine.
That was like the pre-made one though. This is like their coupe drop.
Yeah.
So I'm still going there to pick up the pre-made ones, but I'll get something for Krista there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there, and then the kids are making all the grandmas something.
They're doing a big flea market at Mill Creek Park, so that's going to be our big thing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we went to that last year. It was nice.
Yeah, we're going.
What's this llama?
Life is far
Llama.
too short to feel guilty about.
It's a nice llama.
Well, anything.
Select a map.
Good old Dorado.
I'm doing.
You know, I always vote for the one that doesn't have any votes on it. That's my favorite thing.
Really? Because usually those are the worst maps.
Yeah,
I know. We get new Bonnie. Yes! I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Finally,
hate you.
It's happened.
We had 2 good maps on there. 2 good maps for a fucking new Bonnie.
You know what? I never get to play this one because it never wins. So here,
it sucks.
Man, yeah, he called it too.
Oh man, I'm so happy. I've been doing that for like the last 4 times we played, and it finally worked. I don't even know who to be. All right, I'll play.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. Might be switching to a shield.
Watch us win on new Bonnie. What's wrong with this map? Good map.
Oh crap, we're defense? I'm not being this character.
That's just the way I like it.
Who am I gonna be? Okay. Sure.
You discontinued my
The
favorite
perfect
moisturizer.
world is shaped by
Got
my
any
hand.
recommendations?
Moisturizer.
What's that about?
Who said that?
Chatter.
I
We
didn't
have
hear it.
business to attend to.
She said they discontinued her favorite moisturizer and wants recommendations.
No, was that Domina?
I don't know.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Alright, it was the just the
Why
straggler.
does it have to be?
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Crafting a barrier. Thank you. Out of my way.
Was he close? No.
Nice.
Pristine construction.
Haha. Gives grenade to the face.
Constructing my barrier.
We're totally gonna win this Bonnie match.
Did we win last time we played it?
Just being like, I don't know, it's been too long.
Oh, we did.
Deal with this one. Touch me.
Ah, Genji's on me.
Close.
Nice, thank you. Good call out.
Why did that pop me so hard?
Full fire
Watch him on the right
Very
here.
funny.
Oh, nice.
She's asleep. Okay. Yeah.
Good sleep, good sleep.
He. I didn't see who it was.
Oh, I got
Oh,
healing.
yeah. Maybe I don't play enough Ana.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it's good.
I think sleeping somebody is the best feeling thing to do in
Oh,
this
yeah,
game.
feels good.
Sure.
Alright, group up, everybody. Don't go
Yep,
straggling
coming
over there
back.
too
Coming
much.
back.
Pristine construction. Panopticon is not yet ready. Behind me now.
Genji's coming.
They're all coming.
Damn it. Ow.
Really? Not dead? There you go.
Oh, almost had.
Aw, man.
It's
Oh,
close.
we had that. Oh, well.
Charlatans. The
Held him for a while.
Oh.
That was a good hold.
Objective lost.
I won't say anything about that old fire hair. I'll give
Yeah,
you
he
that
won't.
one. I get it. You thought you were gonna be here. You thought you were gonna shoot it out. You thought I was gonna kill all of them, and we'd be like, "Fire hair is the coolest person ever." I get the pressure.
They already think that. So.
Get in there.
Genji, get off his ass.
Our opposition is moving the payload.
Heads up. Run away.
Kind of overshot it.
Get out of here.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
Behind this wall.
Where's that guy? Yeah.
We're all dead.
Guys, KOTOR 2 is not happening.
I'll be making some.
Did I not
calls
change the
about
game to
this.
KOTOR 2? Is that why everybody's been saying this whole time?
Probably. Usually fire hair fixes that for you, but
Shit, yeah. I guess I never set a category. That's why. It's like, guys, Guild Wars 2's not happening. Oh, my bad. You know, next time they'll say, hey, Mike, wrong category. Not a joke, I don't understand.
Well, it's funny, brother. Oh, it's so close. Oh, you're so... Oh, man. Anytime, it's like one more shot.
Behind us, behind.
Nice edge guy grenade.
What can I say? I'm a lunatic. Behind me now. Keep that up and you'll merit a reward.
Genji again?
Yeah. He wants to be scared.
We go. Shit.
I can't find it.
Got him.
Absolutely glorious.
Nice.
Someone didn't bother with risk assessment.
Nice.
Activate defense array. Make way.
Chris, if you're gonna ult, let me know. I'll mana boost you.
Okay.
You're not close to it, though.
Yeah, I just used it, yeah. So I will let you know, though.
No, I may have to use
Next
it for
time
that.
it's gonna be sweet.
Don't hold on to it that long.
Oh,
Ah.
I stepped right in that. Yeah, so
Like during the next team fight, I might pop you here.
Yeah. So, team fight's still ongoing. So if you wanted to do it.
Come back a little bit, Mike. Oh, come on. Damn it.
Jesus, guys!
Wow.
What happened there?
Well, I don't
I
have
was
any
running.
movement, so she
What
just came
happened
out.
I
there?
was running. I mean, that's like week 1 of Overwatch there.
Oh
Right.
God, you better all run, get over there.
I'll draw up and
We're
you-
going, we're
running.
going. I wish his map was better. Oh, he
I
fucking
got it.
looked like my grenade at
Come
me.
on.
Damn it. He's so close. So close to my ult. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. No, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, good job, Firehair. Good job, good job.
My
Good job, Firehair. Good holds, good holds. Keep holding.
We're getting kills.
Okay, okay.
Fishguard's finest shield.
Okay. Okay. We're fine. We're fine.
Got it.
I
Got it.
can't wait to see that replay.
I was
We're
never
fine,
scared.
we're fine. Fuck the shrimp
What's that?
from the birdcage.
Oh,
It's fine, we're
God.
fine. Everything's fine. Fuck the shrimp.
Look. Theater major. Not all of us have our birdcage quotes
Oh, please, that
memorized.
clip is on social media so much.
Could be your social media. Ezra, you post at all? At all?
76. Oh, I slept him, I slept him.
Nice. Good job. Let's kill him.
Got him.
Constructing my barrier. Keep your distance.
Grenade
Juno.
on, so he couldn't use that med kit.
Nice.
Yeah. Behind
Okay.
us, Wu Chang.
Get some ults. It's good. Oh, Wu Chang gets. We can stagger him. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's intentional.
Is that his name? I totally guessed it his name.
Well, Wuzhong, not Wu Jang.
There was like, water healer.
All right, guys.
No.
Not
no.
today.
No. Yes.
Okay. Because I had to run forward to escape it, but you guys, don't be afraid of these ults.
Turn around, Chris. She's weak.
Just do it to fire her, AJ.
I've no room.
Where are you?
for
Oh,
error.
cop. Come on.
Yeah, I got
I was ready to give it to you too, Chris. But
That's okay. I got 2 still with them.
Oh, thank you. Oh boy, we're not getting.
Oh boy,
They're killing us. We're not killing them. Ah, no.
Oh, I thought we had it. That was a good one.
Oh wow, good try. Guys are good for one more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I know what this is. Let's see it. There you all go. He's probably popping off.
right.
I vote for myself.
I vote for the darkness.
Epic.
I don't know how it works, Chatulus. Yeah.
Winner.
Yay.
No, you shouldn't
Winner.
have.
That's the real victory, Mike.
Right. Alrighty, one more. Wow. I don't even like any of these battle skin passes that much. This Torment one's okay.
Choose your mouth.
No, I might do random.
Yeah,
Esperanza's
speaking to me.
okay.
Yes, it
Esperanza.
is.
When you were talking about playing through all the Resident Evils, did you know Overwatch 2 says asymmetrical co-op? It's local only. Local only. I probably won't bother.
Ooh, random. What we get? Hey, I'll take Nepal.
Nepal's fine.
Vengeance for last time.
Traveling to Nepal.
I want to be Mace. You can yell at me about my ice walls.
Sounds.
It's gonna be great.
Well, I was about to be Wrecking
gonna be
Ball,
awesome.
and all of a sudden I'm seeing a nightmare with that. If you're gonna be, screw it, we'll do
no,
it.
no. I asked Edge guy. He watched me once. I was good with my
Still,
walls.
okay.
My walls.
Were you? I have no idea what you're referring
What?
to.
You don't remember?
No.
I was playing a match and you were spectating.
dream.
You literally said, "Wow, good walls."
Did I?
But yes, it's a
Yes,
dream.
I'm not making this
I,
up.
mean, I don't not believe you. It's just I really don't remember you having
I
a
will also
particularly
add-
good wall day.
I will also add that was a rarity. I'm not saying they're going to be good walls now, but at the time,
At the time.
Everyone stick together. We can do this.
oh, and we have
5,
a Widowmaker, your favorite Mike source.
2,
Wait, why do we have a Widowmaker on
round
this?
1.
Yeah.
Capture.
Maybe.
It's gonna go great. It's gonna go great. It's gonna go great.
Haven't you not even seen that movie?
What? The Tigger movie?
Yeah. No, that's
Which-
not from
which
the
one is
Tigger
it?
movie. That's from the
That's
new
the
one.
new one. No, that's the new one. No, I've seen that movie a bunch. That's great. Yeah, new. How old is it now? 20 years old. I just call it the new one.
Right.
Ooh, who's this? Come on. Didn't even know you said.
I do not have much health. Help me, help me. Yeah, there we go. Alright, yeah, let's see it.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
You trying to get yourself killed?
Shit.
Get
Hit
him
that.
away,
Yeah,
Chris.
well, I hit the nice thing and then.
Alright, he's chained. Get him. Get him. Fire girl's low.
Super.
Got her.
into the eyes.
Heard a super pronounced minefield deployed. It's very funny. Like deep voice. I'm scared. I'm coming.
Yeah, what?
Damn it, dude, fist.
Got me. Pretty good.
Doomfist is very susceptible in my chain, so
Yeah.
just be ready for that.
Okay, let's go get him. Regroup. Careful, careful. Yeah.
Alright, Doom's down.
Nice.
Oh shit! Got fucking help. I got Zenyatta's.
Nice, nice, nice.
There we go. There we go.
Ooh, ow.
Chain, Doomfist chain.
I love the ball. Except when you play against them, but being the ball, great.
That's it.
Coming, Mike. Come back, come back.
They're good on my trash.
Yeah. It's okay. Let's regroup and gotta win one fight.
Alright, I got Doomfist. Doomfist. Ah, shit. Doom's down. Ooh, and the Zenyatta kind of wasted his ult trying to save him, too. That's good.
Good boy. God damn it.
Fire girl's behind us. Doomfist is behind us.
Gotta get on the point soon.
I'm on it. Damn it, I'm dead.
Ah, shit.
Gotta get in there.
Ah! I was in for a second. Okay, I'm in. Oh, please let me get my ult.
Mike, I'm coming.
You're around,
Shit, I
Mike,
hit the wrong
boys.
button.
Going. Oh my gosh. Nice
I
work.
have my ult, I
Mike.
have my ult. Doomfist's chain, get him, get him.
Ah, damn it. Okay, good. Good, good, good. You guys got this. Jeez.
I think we're good. Yeah!
No close.
Yeah.
No, do you guys see how close that was?
that
Twice I was
crazy.
barely in there.
I can't believe you did that.
Oh, they hate this character so much. Oh my god.
Plan to win, or expect to lose. Receive my aid.
That iris stuff freaks me out. At least the spirits can't follow me here. Can they?
You like the part when I almost fell off the Oh, that's one time. I saved it. I saved it.
That was one time.
One time. And I did almost as a count.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
Okay. Additional healing bounce. Chain damage. this.
Fire.
How that changes?
This close.
Very simple. Heal, heal.
Got her. Nice. Nice.
I have overextended for a
Watch
moment.
hammer in here.
Coming in for heals.
Where are you?
Oh. Where's that support at?
If you ask me where I am again when I want to heal, that's gonna be a lashing. Why? No one asked that. You look around. It's easy. We're all highlighted. Do a 180. What am I gonna tell you? I'm Hornets 8239. It's not a fair question. No one asks.
You know what? Maybe you won't get healed next time.
Fine. You always said. I always yell at you. Don't ask where I am. Where do you think I am fighting them?
Yeah, I don't even know what button that is on the keyboard.
It's more of a rhetorical question. Just let it go.
No!
Okay, stop breathing already.
Yes, enough with the breathing. I got a lot of issues with you.
Just die.
Okay, we're gonna have to push back in. Minus 50 DKP. All right. We'll get him. Careful, careful.
I am.
Yeah.
Gyroscopic harness.
Oh, nice pick. We should move in on that pick.
Yeah, the Sojourn's
Yeah,
pretty
Oh,
good.
jeez.
Super. Another one? He just did it. Ow.
It's on. Doom is low.
Oh, yeah.
We win.
Hooray!
We did it. That was fun. We can end on that one.
That's a good one.
I was worried
That
when
Sojourn
she
was
a
good?
Widow, but
Yeah, they really do not want to counter the ball. That's the thing with the ball. Either it gets countered or it doesn't.
Right.
Good job, team. We are heroes.
all right, I am
That
done.
was a ton of healing
Yeah.
by her. All right, well, thank you for the games, brothers. We're not done with the stream. We're going to play more of that new Resident Evil 9 mode. Excuse me.
Open my loot box.
I got two.
Whoa.
Do the queue.
Yeah.
What do I have 3 loot boxes. Oh,
Oh, baby.
Oh, me too. Oh,
Good thing,
baby.
Fire. Thanks for the games.
Here we go.
Right here. Thanks for being the best one on
Trash.
our team. Trash, trash.
Ooh, purple. No, it's just a weapon charm. Last one.
I had a purple weapon charm too.
Trash.
Yes, unlocked additional dialogue from Leon and Leon Masai. So that means probably some outtake from the original game recording that they threw in there would be my guess. All right. I will say
What's
this.
the? Oh, good.
No, you go ahead.
Who's the one tank that you like that floats?
Sigma.
What's his name? Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a voice line where he says "Merry Christmas."
Oh,
Huh,
how
that's
Wanted to
nice.
let you know.
appropriate.
And that's it. Out of those boxes, that was it.
All right.
Oh well. Did I buy this battle pass? I had enough things. I might have. Oh, I did. I got another loot box.
All right. Thank you
A
for the
legendary loot
games.
box. All
Oh, see
right.
what you got. See, tell me if you got anything cool.
I got poolside Reinhardt.
Oh, that's not
Man,
bad.
That's
he's
good.
Is
ripped.
it floaty?
Yes, he's got his footies on.
Did I know he had one? I didn't know he had a
I
poolside
like
one.
that.
All right. Goodbye, brothers. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye,
Goodbye. Yes,
everybody.
tomorrow we will see you.
All right, everyone. So we are checking out this, playing some more of this Resident Evil 9 new single player. Why not? Playing more of Resident Evil. Why is it called Leon Must Die and then more? I can never remember this more part. Like, it should just be called Leon Must Die, or it's called like Leon Must Die Forever. We checked out some of this on UPF. It seemed fun. I'd like to try to complete a run. We'll see. I feel like I definitely need to spend more time scrounging around each area for like all the upgrades I can before moving on. Like the time limit is maybe not as scary as it seems. Yeah, why is there a Forever? Why is it not just Leon Must Die? Leon Must Die Forever. It sounds like it's a sequel to a previous mode called Leon Must Die, right? But it's not. Oh, there was an Ethan Must Die. I see chat list. Okay, well then, I had no idea. But even still, you think they could have just called it Leon Must Die? What's a good place for my cameras in this game? Hey, Dan, how's it going? Is this special content for this game? I don't know why I would need a case upgrade for this. Like it changes appearance. Hey, Turbo Sean, thanks for the raid. How was the Star Foxing going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, everybody. Just about to play some more of the new Resident Evil 9 roguelike mode. Leon Must Die Forever. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I'll start with a meta checker. That seems good. What are Aurora spinners? Oh. What's better? I see. So these are just some upgrades. Oh, this is the additional dialogue. I see. These are some dumb-looking outfits. I'm having fun with it, Sean. I understand the criticisms. It's not much in some ways, but it's a free little bonus mode thing. It's fun. The rocket launcher seems expensive. Let's get this. Seemed loud. I don't know if the game's too loud. Yeah, Craw, if you haven't played this game yet, I didn't voice spoilers because this does reuse a lot of stuff from the base game, including the final boss. Why is this game so loud? We know this is better, everybody.
Excuse me. Get Brentwood locked down.
What? Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
I think it's so worth to even play these voice lines from the single player stuff.
day. Shit!
Thank you!
Get out of here now! I'm so sick of this shit.
This is the extra dialogue I unlocked. So yeah, these guys, I'm right. You can't shoot them.
Let's make this quick.
There's a thing. I saw a bug I wanted to get. Where's that bug? Oh, jeez.
All right.
Any of them now?
I've gotta hurry.
It's unoptimal, unideal. Sure.
I don't have time for this.
Is it really going through my... Zombies hit with kick are set on fire, huh? Sure.
Out of my way.
Actually, I probably should be saving that. Oh, nice. So, I almost want to back... Like, the thing for the level 2 door, I think, is behind me. So, I think it might be worth backtracking over to it again real quick. Let's see. That was a lot of ammo. There's also a herb here. Like, there's no variance. It seems like the same enemies and the same... a lot of the same items spawn every time. It seems like it could have been even more randomized than it really is, but... whatever. There's the door. At least a door.
Can't let him get away.
Come on, I can't go through there. Alright, I think I'm not allowed to go through that door. That was like an early skip door, I've now learned. Okay, good to know. Just a waste of time. Okay, there's some slight variance. Okay. We want the level 5 door. I figure that's this one or the next one. But not that one. That's skipping too much. I got plenty of ammo. I mean, I could keep going, but let's go in the care center. Yeah, it's like a little free extra. Fine. Matt, thank you so much for 41 months. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Okay, 3 more minutes. It's like the enemies get stronger each time you go to a new thing, so if you're not kind of ramping yourself up, you can fall behind pretty quick here. This thing opens. Like, there's this big boy over here on the stairs that I've just not been able to handle.
Excuse me.
I mean, oh, this guy's scary. This guy's gonna do that. Ow, ow. Oh, boy. So I can't parry anymore now, and that seems like a problem. Oh, boy.
Out of my way.
So I really need one of those axe repair things. Yeah, I mean, There is one down over there.
Should be upstairs. You gotta hurry.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Excuse me.
Decrease damage taken from close quarter. Fine. Fire kick seems useful. Nice. Nothing? Knife? Not hurting for ammo. Oh, nice.
Okay.
Another shotgun. Kitchen.
Never a dull day.
Or if I can get a key. Okay. Bullshit.
Out of my way.
I mean, there's spiders on a lot of them. This is definitely the one with the most spider. Like, definitely the biggest spider. I hear one of the special things. Where are you? There you are. The green. Got it.
All right.
What's this? Okay, more herbs.
Okay.
Okay. Flush the toilet. Damn it, Mike.
You gotta hurry.
We don't. We actually have plenty of time. Yeah, the fire kick is actually pretty sweet. Seems to be pretty useful.
Never a dull day.
What the hell? Oh, great, one of them. Okay, what did blue mean? Because I do not remember. If anybody knows. I know red, I can't only hit with the... Oh god, that's hurting me. I might just need to get out of here. Blue is parry? What was red then? Just only melee? Or is just melee? Oh, this is gonna be worth it. I mean, it's so slow. Let's just get out of here. I don't think I can handle. Well, okay, that was good. That works. Okay, come on. I am going to have to actually parry. Sure.
I'm getting too old for this.
Damn it, can't parry noises. Come on.
God damn it.
Screw this, man. Oh, God. Never mind, not... Oh! Oh, alright, lesson learned. Okay. Don't turn your back on them. I hesitated there. Okay. I gotta learn that parry window, apparently. Yeah, let's quit. Let's spend some... Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do a run right away. That's alright. We're learning, though. That one upgrade I got that increased how much time I get. Seemed like it was just adding basically infinite time. So that's good.
Get Brentwood locked down.
I'm gonna miss my fire kicks.
Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
Okay, I can go to that red door now, but there's gonna be a crash that stops it. Zelda again.
Never again.
Those are for the CP permanent upgrades.
I gotta hurry.
Now, if I could throw this guy's axe at the red guy, I think that takes him out right away. You've been doing Persona 5? That's a good one, that's a good one.
Out of my way.
Yeah, that's the strat. That's the strat. Increase the collector's fill rate by 40. Decrease attack bar by 20. Ugh. Increase damage from gunshots. I'm not really fighting any guns. Oh, these all suck. Okay, didn't realize that was a baddie. Not gonna lie. I actually have another level up. No, I don't.
I'm so sick of this shit.
We have a lot of handguns.
Fuck.
This one does hit me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, when they get you from behind, that sucks.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, we have a lot of handguns. Handgun upgrades are good.
Out of my way. I gotta hurry.
Which one of these is actually the best? Silencer, 9. Yeah. This one. Nope, wrong. Almost did the wrong one. Is this over here might actually be the level 2 one I probably should be doing. Let's see. Just the care center. Yeah, that's what we want. Here. Ideally, I think we want to go to East Raccoon City. Streets or Central Camp seem fine. God, I forgot they announced that John Wick game. The route I took last time seemed pretty good.
Excuse me.
Mike.
I don't have time for this.
There we go. Oh, that's it. That's good. Okay, parrying him was pretty efficient, turns out.
His office should be upstairs. Out of my way. I gotta hurry.
Yeah, she was in here last time. Damn it, damn it.
It's getting too... Too old for this.
Hey, Brogan. Thank you for 24 months. Appreciate that. Congratulations on the Mike McQuanchy bet. Thanks for the happy anniversary. Hope you're doing well. There we go. Alright, I don't think I have to.
Excuse me.
Thank you again, Brogan. Hope you're doing well. Use firepower by when a sight/scope is equipped. I don't have a sight or scope. Haven't even seen one. That's the more time one, I guess. That's good. Although, I feel like if I get this one, I really need to be up, like exploring places, taking advantage of all this extra time I'm getting. That's a whole slot taken up from it. Oh, he's empty. Oh, nice. Didn't even realize my hatchet was low. Submachine gun, huh? Marksman rifle. Okay. Yeah. Oh well. That's a time. Is that all that's been the entire time? Is time? I guess it makes sense.
I gotta hurry.
Yep, fine.
Never a dull day.
Makes sense. Come on.
Out of my way.
It's got me. Oh, ow. Ow. Bullshit.
I don't have time for this.
Did some on? Nope, new game mode that just dropped yesterday.
All right. I don't have time for this.
Somebody really take advantage of that with. Oh, close that. Missed my mark there. Just surprised him, I guess.
I gotta hurry.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, they have. Okay. Okay, so now it's like get rid of something. Where's my? Yeah. Oh, I see what's going on here. We can just auto sword, I bet still. Oh, so we can combine a lot of these. Did we not take it? Am I crazy? There it is. What's gonna happen in the garage? Oh, it's even opens. Oh, this is in the garage. Oh, this is something now. Now we've got a weapon. Now we're cooking with gas. I need to get in that main hall. Also, let's just use one of these. And the map still works, that's nice. Let's make our shotguns even better now we have this good shotgun. Definitely want to kill this guy first.
So sick of it.
Okay, this is too many of them. Can I kill one of these red ones with this thing? Yep. That's huge. Now we're getting out of here, though. Issue with that, I see.
God damn it.
The commander, level 11, who I don't know if I really wanted to go here. Oh gosh, this one goes from the commander to the last boss. This might not be the most optimal thing. Increased firepower based on total ammo. Okay. Sure. Who's the commander? I don't even know if I want any of these. Can I like do something else with this? Don't really worry. Just re-roll it. Oh, this guy. Oh, hunk. Oh god, let's see how this goes. Oh, first we start with this. Great.
I don't give up that easy.
This weapon is pretty good. Come on, who's still here? Maybe nobody. Maybe I can go. This gun seems so much stronger than almost all the other guns I've had. Take it. I want to get the machine gun ammo just so I can throw it away for health increases. Oh, this room sucks. Yep. I don't even know if I want to be here. I gotta be honest. Shotgun. I was supposed to get help for discarding. There we go. You know what hunk stands for? I didn't notice it for something, so no. I wish I had some grenades or something. Are any of you buy the explosives yet? Nope. Damn it. Stop moving. Just get rid of some of these.
Felt that one, huh?
Ideally, I just want some more shotgun boosts. Run, 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 run. Damn it. That's interesting. By 60%. Oh god. Oh, it's not ready. It's just smoke. I'm wasting way too much time with this. Can I leave? Apparently not.
Give me a goddamn break. don't give up that easy.
Jesus. That injector, good. Shotgun shells, need. So there we go. He's pretty good.
Not bad.
What's this?
Okay.
Slot expansion, nice. Okay. No. Maybe for now. Yep, absolutely. Thing is, for the final boss, you kind of really need to parry him a lot. So I don't know if I'm really gonna be able to keep my hatchet unequipped. We'll see. Also, are we really fighting Hunk? Why does this look like a dead end? Why didn't you even let me come in here? Okay. Utopia's closing. The door in the original rock is changing them to electric. Oh, good. Hear me for a moment. I think we can. Lost. Which way did I come from? Oh, God. Okay. Right. Maybe I've been in here before. Must be this way. Must be this way, please.
Here at all, your movements will be constantly monitored. Do not leave.
Also, big waste of time. I think we'll be okay.
The recording and transmitting of information is strictly prohibited.
All right.
Oh, we are doing this? Okay, well, I'm better have my...
It's such a big fan. How about an autograph?
I heard you were a smartass.
Still trying.
Not bad for someone at death's door.
Worried about me? How sweet. Still trying, huh? Now I'm mad. Give me a goddamn break.
Going well, actually, huh?
Sneaky bastard. Okay, that's it. Still trying, huh? Never a dull day. Okay, that's it. Give me a goddamn break. Get a little handsy, are we?
Make no mistake. Nothing will stand in my way. I'll complete this mission.
Now I'm mad.
Oh, bullshit. I thought I had that. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Damn it, that spin.
Give me a goddamn break.
God. Don't wait for the spin, Mike. Spin to win.
Now I'm mad.
Damn it. Gotta wait. No, don't run away. Bullshit.
Built out.
I think we got him. Good enough. Jeez. What if I get his hatchets, though?
Ran into trouble. This guy was one tough bastard.
Wish I could have gone some. No. Oh, I can't shuffle. What much healing do I have? Not a ton. Hey, Craddox. Oh, that's good. I needed that. Sure. There's nothing from stopping me from just kind of continuously equipping and unequipping the hatchet, I guess. Seems a little annoying. Okay. See if we can take a hit.
Spencer's vision lives through me, and I will see Hades brought to fruition.
And how many more will have to die for that vision? Still trying.
Seems your skills have diminished.
shit. Damn it, Mike. Oh, those are being refunded.
Seems to be reaching a limit.
Oh, I keep getting hit by that. That sucks. Oh, that's not much. Run, run, run. I don't know. I might be cooked. I might be cooked. I'm pretty sure there's a phase 2 still. I can get rid of items to heal myself still, and I should be doing that. Yeah, they have the hatchet equipped. My only pistol. No. No. What happened there? Didn't see it. Oh no, I'm dead? Oh, that was so close. Dang it. I didn't think he was attacking me yet, to be honest. That's my bad. I am liking this mode. I can't actually afford much yet. Dang it. Close. Again, definitely learning it. I liked that route. It helped getting that really good shotgun. I'm going to the bathroom. We'll try another run here. Be right back. Rank 2. There's ranks. That's what you beat at once. There's a rank 2. I don't know if I'll be doing a rank 2. Yeah, I'm enjoying the mode. I don't know if I'm gonna, I bet I beat it once and I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna worry about, like, now do the difficulty multiplier. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like part of me's like they're hiding some item behind me, right? Anyone else get the feeling? That's something a game like this would do.
Can't let him get away.
Nope, yeah, maybe not. Why don't we retry then? They have multiple difficulty levels. I see. Makes sense. Definitely kind of like when to stack those weapon upgrades for one weapon and mostly just use that.
Yeah, he's the one to thank for all the excitement.
I feel bad not being able to help every civilian. Call me Aurelius. Thank you so much for following. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Is that Marcus Aurelius that I've seen in Game S? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to shoot the civilians. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I'm gonna help this guy. Right here.
Excuse me. You gotta hurry.
Yeah, I'm that guy who was like staunchly anti no Russian. I thought that was a weird thing to do in a Call of Duty game. And the one red guy didn't come out this time.
Out of my way. Oh, fuck. Let's make this quick.
Yeah, we have a machine gun, so.
I don't have time for this.
I'm used to machine guns usually being really bad in these games. So where's the red guy? I want to throw this at him.
Excuse me.
Come on, Red. Red, over here. Ah, damn it. Get rid of this person. Did I still throw it?
Shit.
Nope. Alright. Old-fashioned way.
Okay, that's it. Oh, damn it.
Okay. Increase attack power against enemies in close range, otherwise decrease. Increase however when I've never seen a sight or scope. I mean, if we get a shotgun, this could be good. Is Call of Duty bad? I mean, sometimes. He's a grumpy old man. That's why he talks like a grumpy old man. Right, I could redo for the perks, so I always forget. This early on, it's fine. Just fill those slots. Again, I think I like the route I've stumbled into. No, you don't get to keep the jacket.
Excuse me.
This guy's not gonna... Invincibility parry.
Still trying, huh?
None of this seems. Let's reshuffle again. That's good. Yeah, that seems okay. Sure. There's a shotgun.
Should be upstairs.
What?
I gotta hurry.
Someone's near me. Yeah, it seems like if you explore, there's gonna be enough spiders. That'll give you time.
I don't have time for this.
Especially early on. After a while, you kind of get, like, towards the end of that last run, I was like, okay, I'm pretty stacked out. I'm not too worried about my build. Shotgun, huh? There's like a way to combine 3 of them. It's even more useful.
Out of my way. Okay.
Oh, this guy again. Let's let him get me. Yeah, there are those costumes. I should look at those after this run, maybe. Definitely a shuffle. I can't afford one. I can. Nope, I can't.
Never a dull day.
We're done here. Just going over there. As in most Resident Evil, it seems like shotgun is the way to go a lot of the time. Give me handgun ammo, man. I don't really want that. I got a pretty good weapon here one time. Rifle, not terrible. Hey, Lightbringer. Werewolf London. This is definitely worth coming to this room. All sorts of goodies. Upstairs even. This isn't open, right? Oh, it was.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Kind of been here. I guess we can go upstairs. See if there's anything up here. This is his office right now. Oh, we can go somewhere new. Might be worth checking out. Do you think of Giant Bomb we can get a revision of Halo 1 if you grub? I think it'd be fun if we could play that remake co-op. I saw your health bar, idiot.
You gotta hurry.
Oh, bullshit. What was that magnet bullshit? Come on. Get off of me.
Excuse me. Out of my way.
Oh, there you are. Alright, 1 second.
I don't have time for this.
No, great, I lost this spider.
You all want a piece.
I'm gonna have a rifle and a shotgun. Let's forget about the Vosses. Okay.
You gotta hurry.
Some ammo. Apparently. Never mind. Oh god, we're doing this?
Every single time.
killed a lot of the other people that would have spawned right now, honestly, so they were on the clear.
Well, that's my cardio for the week.
Which Star Fox avatars each member? I'm gonna be Slippy. Ooh, what's this? Name that. Oh, slot expansion. That's huge. This is an interesting route. Might even be better than the other one. I don't know. Bacalar's peppy. Maybe Grub's Falco and Jan is Fox, and then Dan is Pigma. Yes, I think last time we almost kind of went straight to the mercenary fight. This is maybe a bit more optimal. Maybe. Don't want handgun ammo. Whatever. I keep feeling like there's like nothing's happening here. Come on, I need to kill the spiders. That's up there. Fuck's sake. Can I get up there? Here we go.
Built out.
Oh, goody.
Still trying.
Nice. Oh, we want that for sure. Let's get rid of this one. I don't know, 60% is so much. There's gonna be some bosses we're not gonna... we're always gonna be kind of close. This one's only okay.
Now I'm mad.
Ow. Run.
I don't give up that easy.
Alright, we gotta parry him. Or I could just do another one of these, maybe. There we go. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff all of a sudden. Okay. Just give me a med ejector for one. I'll use it right away. Whatever. Where is my hack's health? May as well take it, because we have a lot. Maybe we should just be maxing out our... We kind of have to pick one here, you know? Maybe we just really go all rifle and machine gun. No, didn't see you there. Is this better than my current one? Yeah, it's got a star. Cannot be discarded, why?
Give me a goddamn break. Okay. That's it.
I'm sure what I'm looking for now. Doesn't really work like that. Can I get rid of this yet? Ow.
Felt that one, huh?
I really want to get above me.
Okay, that's it.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm trying to shoot a spider. Stop.
You all want a piece.
You kind of need the hatchet towards the end is the issue with that one. I think time's okay. This one's not bad. Especially I'm going to be using the ghost stuff, but getting my... I just don't know what I'd get rid of. 50%, I guess 50% is more than 10. Get rid of one of these, I suppose.
All right. All right. I don't give up that easy.
Oh, come on. Really? That sucked. Am I getting back up there? Do I have to go the whole way around? Because that is no good. Yep. I think I do. these guys. Do something. Do I have anything to throw at you, actually? That'd be amazing. Back here. Okay. Let's make sure that doesn't go to you.
Give me a goddamn break.
Hell yeah. Slot expansion. Are you kidding me? Let's go. Yeah. Recovery might not be terrible, but I don't know. Just damage would probably be better. I don't know about this one. My time is not amazing, but this isn't gonna help much. I don't have very many empty slots. I mean, I guess I got rid of everything but my machine gun and my, rifle. I got rid of all the ammo. This could be good. Let's try it. Screw it. Oh, it doesn't even let me just... I have it equipped that way. We're going really ballsy right now. I think I hear a spider, but let's be in this room. Yep.
Never a dull day.
All right. Got a new rifle. That's exciting. We can just save that med ejector one for when we're low and use it for a free heal. I think I almost want to get rid of that like close range one from a distance one. So, you know, there's the door. Don't I already have max slots? Yeah, I don't think that does anything. This one's kind of a negative now. Maybe we can find something else for this. I mean, this thing has a scope, right? Yep. We're going all in with the this thing, I guess. What else do we have? Just keep it on that in case we need the heal. No, we're going straight to Victor already. Okay. Well, seems like pretty decent. I think we're in decent shape here.
Spencer's vision lives through me. And I will
I almost wish it wasn't zooming in so much.
And how many more will have to die for that?
This is doing some huge damage. Yeah, that hurts him. You have to kind of keep moving now here to avoid this bullshit. Yeah, there we go. Never mind, got hit anyways. Alright. Oh, come on.
Seems to be reaching his limit.
Come on, load. It's alright. Okay. Give me the heal one. Not that. Oh boy. What's happening? Man. We had a good start there and then it kind of just went to shit.
Now.
Alright. Oh boy. Come on, give me a hatchet or...
Still trying.
Oh boy. Forgot the... The thing that sucks here is that I don't think using the sniper on that actually matters or helps much.
Give me goddamn.
Yeah.
Go, no. Now I'm mad. Okay, that's it.
Damn it. I do have a heal. Yeah, I have plenty of heals. Oh, that's not good. Oh, they're here. They're here. There's some over here. God damn it.
Still trying, huh?
Ah, shit.
Okay, that's it.
I think this is basically it. Hey, we did it. We've completed a run. That's worked. You're destroying Victor. Okay, now there's rank 2. There's some replay value there. Let's see, what's my special content? Unlocked wolf mode. That zombie ablaze when cut, so there's this stuff. It's like different loadouts, I think. Different like starting loadouts. That's interesting. Left eye out, pronounce wolf. 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 A wolf. A wolf. A woofy woof woof. Oh, there we go. Fun. A nice way to get a little bit more Resident Evil 9 action. Fun. Good stuff. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out tonight. We are going to end things here. Like I said, at some point this weekend, gotta get the N64 setup figured out so I can play Donkey Kong 64 during the the marathon stream. But yeah, we'll test that with Magical Tetris Challenge. That'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It's later than I thought. Guess we'll just raid Giant Bomb forever and see what else. When is the marathon? It'll start Monday, maybe an hour after Game Mess mornings. We have a meeting we always do, so I want to do that meeting first. Hey, we got a copyright hit with Crystal Coconut last time. We're free, thank God. The Kongathon. Why didn't we think of that? All right, everyone. Thank you again so much. We'll be seeing you later this week, and then all next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Woo. Oh, thank you, Help Lava for following. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.